Hey, start without any any funny business. Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. This is Harry from Hasper TV back with another preview with Harry and TJ. And it's Friday, guys, so it's almost the weekend, thank God. So Harry, I'm gonna go to you first. How you doing?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Looking forward to getting into this show. Obviously, previewing Newcastle. So yeah, really excited.
And TJ, you look like you're in Tottenham. You must be in Tottenham, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm at work right now in Wood
Yeah,
Green.
yeah, I can see in the background.
Um,
Yeah, how you doing?
yeah. This is my studio sesh. So whenever I'm doing Friday shows and I'm at work, more time it's going to be in this little spot. It actually looks a bit better than my
Yeah,
actual
I'm gonna say that looks
home
really
setup,
good.
innit?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is my office. This is my office that I'm in it. Anyway, so I've got like this little section where I eat my food in it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I look outside and I just, do my own thing. But I'm good, my guy. I'm good. How you guys been?
Good.
I hope
So big up the
All
chat.
good.
Barney,
big up,
Jay,
big up, big up, big up, big up to
JJ.
all you
Yeah, big
man,
up
innit?
JJ. He was on. I was messaging him on Tottenham Away earlier. But
Oh
so
boy.
yeah, we guys got Newcastle next week.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
obviously last time out.
I
Yeah,
can't remember what happened last time out. It's been so long. Did we win? Who did we play against? Just
Yeah,
refresh
Forest.
my memory.
Very well.
Forest
Oh yeah,
3-1.
we won.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won, innit?
So TJ, because I'm speaking now, what do you think of the Forest game first of all?
Like I said, I can't even remember. It was past my memory. Nah. Serious note in it, yeah. It was it was a good-ish performance. I think first half we did struggle because they scored first, right? If I'm
Yeah.
correct.
No,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
scored. They
yeah.
equalised. No, we
They
scored first. They equalised before half time.
Oh yeah. So, yeah. It was such a tight game at first half. Yeah, sorry, man. Look, when them ones where you don't speak about football for a long while, innit? You
Yeah,
forget,
yeah,
innit?
yeah.
You
It's
know.
fine.
But now it's coming back to me. Yeah, no. First half was kind of like same old, innit? Again, it's a mixture of a lot of things. Stubbornness, and then you got players that are not in form, and then players that are in form. Props to Werner. That's one person I'm going to give props to because he did do have a good display. I don't. As far as I'm concerned, this is kind of like a clean state. Like this year is going to be up and down performances, isn't it? And you can't expect more than what we're getting right now.
Did you think the halftime changes made a difference, CJ? Bensko and
Yeah,
Rodber came on for Bissouma.
yeah. You know what? Look, I feel like I'm not just gonna radicalize certain players like Bissouma or like shithouse a few of them like a few bad performances. But what I'm gonna say to like as an overall squad, there's times when Bentancur is good and there's times when Bentancur is bad. Do you get where I'm
Yeah,
coming from? There's times when Højbjerg is good and when Højbjerg is bad, right? There's times when Basuma is good and Basuma is bad. We're gonna get that kind of trajectory for a while until these players kind of like adjust and adapt. Um, Look, I've spoke for a while, a lot. I want to hear what other people like Harry
yeah,
and
yeah.
obviously
I
you
was asked
think in
Harry.
it because you guys were at the game, right?
Yeah, I went. Yeah,
I
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, so I would love to know your opinion because
yeah.
to be fair, I think it was a decent performance. It's like a same old performance. There was nothing amazing about it, but there was nothing
Like that, like really
bad
bad.
about it. Do you get
Yeah.
where I'm coming from?
So Harry, I'll ask a couple of questions coupled with the
Yeah, go
performance
for it.
because I know you're a big Højbjerg fan. I've never seen you defend him for a lot, and even TJ. I know he's not as much a fan as you, but he's defended Højbjerg quite a lot. And I'll also ask you another question coupled with this. Now, I'm of the view after seeing Bissouma this season that I don't think he's really a number 6. I think he's kind of either being converted or they're putting him in there to what's the word? Put a square peg in a round hole, as they say, to try and
Yeah.
supplement the fact we don't actually have like a real number 6. Because I think he's been doing that a little bit with Bentancur. Because Bentancur's not really played as much as a 6 and an 8 in previous years, from what I've seen of him anyway. So do you think the half-time changes were like a massive thing because Højbjerg was like he's a naturally a 6. What do you think was the deciding factor in the change of the second half?
It was a change at half time for me. If they weren't made, I think we could have gone on to lose that game, to be honest with you. And the first half was interesting and something I don't think we've experienced, certainly not for a long while this season, in terms of that first half was really a half or two halves where we started well, obviously took the lead, but then we started to crumble in that second part of the half and we conceded, and really we should have been behind going into half time. Chris Wood has to take that second chance. Murillo from 83 yards, very, very unlucky not to score. That was an immense effort from the Brazilians. So yeah, we were very lucky not to be behind, in my opinion. And it felt like one of those where we should have been 2-0 up, didn't take our chances, and we could have been behind at the break. Changes were made
as well. Remember, he hit the post from like 2 yards, 3 yards, whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
but one thing, I know you're going to question Werner, but Werner performed. I thought he performed. I don't know about you guys.
I was going to bring up Werner, but since you said it,
in the first half, he forced the own goal with Murillo, and that's the thing. Even if he's not scoring them, he's forcing these goals from his good crosses. He likes again. So it's really impressive. But no, second half we got the job done, and really it felt like they were it's men versus boys in the second half. But that's how it really should be. In terms of where you look at the table. So we got the job done. We got the 3 points. But what I do worry is when we play bigger oppositions. I think we play a bigger one in Newcastle this weekend in terms of will we be allowed those 20-25 minutes in that first half that we had where we just simply are non-existent? Will we be allowed that time? Or will the game be gone by then? It's going to concede 2 or 3 goals. That for me is a big test, especially when we play the top 3, but also with Newcastle this weekend. So overall, I'm happy with the win, but I know that with a bigger team that we would have been in trouble.
And I guess it's my turn now. So I went to the game. I thought the first half, like you said, was kind of a game of 2 halves. But I did feel like once Forest equalised, the momentum was with them. I think momentum is a very important thing in football. And they could have, like you said, easily 2 or 3-1 up by half time. I thought that they literally had control of the game, really. And I think if you didn't make that sub, I think we would have gone to lose it, like you said. I think Bentancur's Simon and Bentancur and Højbjerg, because they play so well together, like from previous, obviously under Conte in it. So for them to come on together, I think really helped to kind of allow Maddison to play a bit more further forward as well, because they tend to play a bit further back anyway. I just think people underestimate how much the difference Højbjerg made that game, because without him, I think we would have lost the midfield battle in the second half.
I totally agree with what you're saying there, I'll let you carry on. I just want to add something into Højbjerg's performances, like in terms of like how he offers something different. This is why I'm a big advocate that we can't sell, we shouldn't look to get rid of someone like Højbjerg, because for me, he offers something different that most of our midfielders don't. He's like more of the defensive, like all out, defensive structured center mid or CDM, and to be honest with you, we don't have a defensive midfielder in our squad as often as what Højbjerg. So for you to want, like, he's the only one that's going to push the cash, let's be honest with you there, because then you've got obviously
but he wants to go. I think that's the problem as well. Like, he wants to go
again. I agree with that, but then see, this is the problem in it, and I know I'm kind of like jumping from one topic to the other topic, but when you have Højbjerg in your squad, or just like a bench option, it offers so much, because remember, you need a big squad, and in terms of who we're linked to, because then we're linked to like people like Conor Gallagher, and he's not a defensive.
Keep that in mind, because that's one of the
structured
like Gallagher and Onana. Topic.
He's not a defensive structured player. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And then even Onana, for example, I don't watch him a lot in it. I'm gonna put my hands up. I don't watch him a lot. However, even him, his player style, it's not strictly defensive. You get where I'm coming from. He's more of a center midfielder, destroyer. Do you get where I'm coming from? So this is how I've seen him. He's like a destroyer in terms of he does the gritty and grind dirty work, but he's not that all out defensive guy. So for you to get rid of someone like Højbjerg, that will cripple our squad. That will cripple our chances.
I agree with you. I don't want to sell him, but the problem is he wants to go. I think that's the thing.
But see, shouldn't you question how he's managed? Because for me personally, of course, you can want to leave, yeah. Like Harry Kane, we all knew that Harry Kane wanted to leave, right?
Yeah.
But
100%.
Let's be honest with you, it's been kind of like in the woodworks of Harry Kane leaving for like the last 4 or 5 years. You get where I'm coming from? Well, not 4 or 5 years, maybe like 3 years. 3 years on, like I think it was like what 2020, 2021. That's where we were hearing rumors where Harry Kane,
Man City, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Harry Kane is linked to other places, right? Cool, but he didn't throw his toys out the pram, you know. And when you manage people, and I guarantee you, if Harry Kane had the option to stay, and if this team was more successful on the pitch,
he would have stayed.
I think Harry Kane would have stayed.
He would have stayed.
I'm going to make that clear to a lot of Spurs fans, isn't it? So it's the way you manage these players, right? I think Højbjerg is another Harry Kane situation. When I say like, he hasn't thrown the toys out the pram. Yeah, we can clearly see he wants to go because he's not favoured, right? But if you manage your squad and you kind of like see what he offers, don't you think you could get a tune out of Højbjerg?
PJ, don't you think that's down to Ange then? Because, and I'm going to put
that's my point.
I'm going to put this to you. Can you just make 1 point? Sorry. So Ange clearly also played with a progressive 6. I'm going to use that in quotation marks because that's the player education I get told by everyone, right? Now, the problem we have in this squad, what I've noticed, right, is with the 6th position is you have someone like Skip who everyone, I think, agree on this panel and probably in the chat that he's not the level we need, right? So you have to take him out of the equation.
I agree, but then I also agree that you have to have people like Skip in the squad because
I know.
Homegrown and, you know, to get where I'm coming from, like maybe he's not off.
But again, he's not. What I'm trying to say, that's my point.
They're not the colleague.
He's not progressive right enough for Ange, right? And Højbjerg again, I love him as a 6. I think he's been a good. I've never been one to say, "Oh, we need to sell Højbjerg," or whatever, because I know he does a certain job. He's not going to do anything more than that. But the problem with him again is that, and this is what every Spurs fan says, is that he's not progressive enough. But then he's playing Basuma there, who probably is progressive enough, let's say, on paper. Like he's got more to his game, let's say, and he can progress the ball. But as a 6, in my opinion, if we're talking like a pure number 6, like a tackler, destroyer, I don't think he's good enough. And I think that's the problem we have. So it's like you've got one player who's trying to convert him into a player that he's not. And you've got one player that we have that's actually in the 6. But then he's not progressing off playing the system.
This is why, let me be honest with you.
So it's like,
I'm going to be honest with you, and this might seem as this is why I'm going to be totally honest with you, and this might seem negative to a lot of fans, isn't it? But this is where I kind of like blame Ange in a certain because I go back to this point, innit? If you don't have the players, you can't play the system. So that's the draw line, and I'm not saying you have to change your whole philosophy. I never said that. That never came out of my mouth. But you want to implement something and you don't have the structure in place. We're basically doing what Conte had. Didn't have the structure in place and he didn't have the players to perform his system. Because let's be honest here now, yeah. Even Mourinho didn't have the players to perform his system.
No, he didn't.
Poch was the only manager that had the players. Let's just deep it here, and I'm not being negative. Please,
even
please don't think I'm negative here.
No, I completely agree with you.
Let's be the only manager that we've actually had in the last 5-6 years is Poch, where he has actually had players at his disposal that know his system in and out. Right? Cool. That comes with time because Poch was here for a long time, right? And again, I'm not throwing Ange under the bus when I'm making this conclusion. But what I'm trying to say is you have to obviously see what you have on the piece of paper and realize, okay, cool, this is a big issue. Because if you play like this next year, and look, quote unquote, this is why I'm kind of laying off the Ange criticism. I think you've realized, look, I'm not for the last two shows, innit? I'm not going hard on Ange, innit? But when you say stuff like, next year I want to title content.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
says, yeah,
And
you're,
this is where it comes down to, innit? If you say things like this, innit, you have to get all of these small little tasks fixed first before you start jumping on the big tasks. Do you get where I'm coming
yeah.
from?
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah. I know where you're coming from.
So
But then,
I'm a
I was
bit.
gonna say, in regards to number 6, then I was looking at, say, Bentker, for example. Yeah, I just trying to get back on topic, but and on paper for me, he would be the player that might be able to do that job, like because he's progressive and he can sit, and also because of his ACL, I think it's better for him to play as a 6.
yeah, absolutely.
But again, it's his question marks are his recovery from his injury. So the number 6, I think, is a real problem for us now. Yeah. TJ, what are
You
you
know
going
what
to
it
say?
shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
No. You're making a good point. You know, the number 6 is now becoming an issue, and it shouldn't have been like this. You know, because quote unquote, Conte, for whatever reason, didn't want to play Basuma, right? And we've had a year without Basuma in this squad, and now Basuma has kind of like reverted back to, I wouldn't say his old ways. He is still playing at a semi like, okay, but it's like we're not seeing the Basuma of the first 10, 12 games, right? Is there a question of the quality of players that we're bringing in? And we always go back down to coming to this actual topic, because generally speaking, we're now in a situation where we need to find another number 6 on Basuma, or maybe for whatever reason we bought Basuma for, right? At the time, it looked like it was a really amazing signing, and it should have been an amazing signing. It should have took us from this is where I hold my hands up in it and I say, yeah, cool. This is where I props Levy for his business. Do you get where I'm coming from? I pick
Do
him
you
up.
think?
Listen,
I don't bring this up, but do you think he was cheaper because of that ongoing case?
that's half and half into it. You know how Levy does his business is. We can only critique what we have on
No,
the pitch,
I'm saying
right?
because of Basuma's ongoing case at the time.
Can I answer that?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yes, I think so, and I don't think Brighton wanted to be involved in that. They, at the time, were very hyped by their kind
I
of
didn't want to name what the case
model
is
and
about. I just want to say it was
etc.
the case.
Yeah. I know. I won't get into the case itself, but I think that Brighton were keen to offload, and we saw an opportunity. And I think everything that's been said so far tonight, I completely agree with. But dissecting what TJ said, I completely agree. You know, Basuma came in. Obviously, you forget last season, this season, hit the ground running and like amazed us all in that first 12 games. That for me was a Basuma we all saw at Brighton, if not better. But then he's like one extreme to another. What we're seeing now is complete. Okay, I actually thought Forest's first half was the best I've seen for a little while in terms of he took some shots, but then he lost control of that midfield. His passing was awful.
But this is what I'm trying to say about Basuma, right? So he's progressive in that sense. Like he's taking shots, he's bringing the ball forward. But then when it comes to the actual 6 work, he's not.
For me, and I'm not Ange Postecoglou, and I would set my team up completely different. I made that clear before.
Yeah.
You know, my number 6, the main job will be to protect the defence. Ultimately, as I said before, we're conceding for my liking too many goals, and that is an issue. You can play attacking football, defensive football, but you've got to keep the ball out of your own net. You have to do that in the Premier League. Look at Arsenal. For me, the main difference is they went away to Dubai. They got a set piece coach, and they ultimately improved defensively as well.
Though, to be
they
fair.
brought Declan Rice. Yeah, they improved defensively, and we have to keep balls out of the back of our own net, and we're not doing that. And number 6, ignore the comments. Number 6 plays a big part in that. Basuma for me can't do it. I think Ben Score can as a progressive 6. I think Onana could for Everton, so we can get onto that. I think he's capable of doing that. For me, it would be Højbjerg. I know he doesn't suit the system with the passing, but I think you can adapt that and improve that. Højbjerg for me would be your typical number 6. He does it so well for Denmark.
I was going to ask you, because you touched on Onana anyway, Harry. On Gallagher, I mean, the Gallagher link this morning was so strong. Like, apparently Spurs want to get it done quickly. I don't know how that's going to happen because it's Chelsea, but anyway. And what do you think the motivation is for this Gallagher thing? Because we've spoken at length now about wanting a number 6. I don't think Gallagher's really number 6, in my opinion, at least.
No.
Do you think homegrown? Do you think like what's the motive? Where's he going to play?
For me, the thinking behind it is he would suit an Ange Postecoglou system perfectly, and he is homegrown. So that would be for me the first 2 things that comes to it. But I don't know why we're already jumping into the number 6 or the Gallagher like midfield thing at Spurs. If this obviously the rumours are true, because for me, I want to see us go out there and get a number 9. I'll go out there and get that full centre back in, or go and get that left back, or as TJ's discussed before, I think spot on, go out there and sign another winger. Regardless of whether we keep Werner or not, we need another winger. There's nothing wrong with having unlimited options. You want that with hopefully Champions League football next year. So I don't get why Gallagher for me wouldn't be the first sign of the window. I know he suits the system. I don't say it's necessarily better out there, but if you're going between Gallagher or Nana, for me it'd be a Nana. I'd rather go for Paulinho for Fulham. If I'm totally honest with you, he's the one I think that can do the role that we need and can be very versatile. Can do the 6 or the 8. Can attack, can defend, can protect.
For me,
pass.
It's Douglas Luiz, man. We need Douglas Luiz.
He's more of a box-to-box player, TJ, though. I don't think he's already
but you know what? Yeah, the way he plays in the Aston Villa side with McGinn. I think it's McGinn. Yeah, McGinn. Man, he will suit our system. I'm sure that's my. Let me be honest with you. Yeah, look, I've done my scouting report in it. Yeah, and I don't care what the rumors are, man. I'm not following that because for me, Gallagher. Look, I'm a pretty standard person in it. Look, people will disagree with me, and they can all have their own opinion in it. But I just don't want players like Gallagher. In my opinion, we've got players like Skip.
I've got to agree with you on that one.
For me, we need better. If we're gonna go, this is my point. Your ambition, see, it comes out the manager's mouth that his ambition is the title challenge. How is a player like Gallagher a title challenge? And I don't want to go back on the Werner thing, and I don't want to go back because you guys already know my stance on that, right? I'm not saying nothing he's done. Like at the start of the show, I said I bigged up Werner.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change my narrative of why I'm saying we need better.
It's not the standard
I
of
generally
the
just want
the level of the player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I know people disagree. I know Harry's stance is he'll be a good option. Yeah, I can totally respect that.
And this is something, by the way, comes from like you. I don't really want him, but do you think he might see him as like star cover?
What? Sorry, say that again.
Do you think you might see Gallagher as like not star cover or star competition?
Yeah,
like in the same position.
Yeah, competition. Yeah.
No, but then see, this is what I don't understand, didn't it? Yeah.
I'm not saying I agree.
We've just got that youngster. We've just got that that youngster from what is it called? That because I remember saying the reason why. Listen, remember I said this. When I said the reason why I would want Postecoglou is to embed our youngsters, and we've just signed a wonder kid that is doing bits, and I think he's and the problem is when you bring players in, for like let's just say Gallagher comes in it, what happens to our youngsters? There's no way through the door.
But then TJ, you say that, but if he said. And don't get me wrong, me and you both agree we're not going to change the title next season. But he said we're going to change the title next season. And Stel on Tottenham Way makes a very good point, and I agree with him completely on this. He's not going to use the youngsters because if this is his aim, he's not going to trial a youngster next season.
I agree with that.
No,
I agree with that totally. Yeah, I totally agree with what that right there. That statement of he's not going to use the youngsters makes total sense. However, when you build a squad, and this is why I'm adamant that a squad, like players like, and see, it might sound crazy and corrupt in it when I say this in it, but players like Emerson Royale, I just want to suit my narrative here. Players like Emerson Royale, Skip, for whatever reason, all of these players are squad-based players. You get where I'm coming from. Emerson Royale is he can play the centre back and he can play right back. Maybe they're not good enough for
even Davies.
The whole, even Davies. He fits that same narrative in it. But you also have to embed your youngsters in as well in the squad. I'm not saying they're just going to slip right in. Hence why when I say you're gonna go for a title, I'm not mentioning Werner or Gallagher. Even Brendan Johnson comes into this matter because I want much better quality players, and that doesn't necessarily mean I'm saying you have to spend the money. Never said that, but you need good players that can actually perform on that technical level. Look at this. I'll give you a good example. When we talk about the best teams in the Prem, we always talk about their front three,
Yeah.
right? We always say this person, that person, they are likely to win the Prem.
Like
Why?
Diaz,
Because
Nunez. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. I'm just gonna use our front three for example, yeah. This is just an example for my argument. When you mention Werner, Richarlison, Son, or Johnson, Richarlison, Son, do you see that as a title contending? And I'm not saying we're going to win it. I'm saying title contending team.
Not for me.
Exactly. I never said anything about they're probably good footballers, but my issue is when you make them huge statements, you're selling me hopes. This is why. I'll go for it, bro.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I totally get what you're saying, but what I will say is I look at teams like Arsenal and go, their front three doesn't really scare me.
What?
Apart from Saka, apart from Saka, Jesus for me is hang on, wait. For me, I think we have. I'm not going to say that front three is absolutely fantastic, but Son for me would be for a start in a title winning front three. I think Werner would be, as we said before, Johnson. There'd be options to have in that title winning team. Richarlison, I personally really like, and we see Arsenal who are in a title race. I would still have Richarlison over Jesus, if I'm totally honest with you. I think Jesus there's a reason he's playing in different positions, left wing, back left wing, because they can't really find a good position to him. So they're seeing what he's like at tracking back. So I won't, being honest with you, I don't think at the moment scoring goals is a problem. I think keeping balls at the back of our own net is a problem. So I think that we need to fix that personally first before we think about scoring.
But then one thing I have to just throw back at you, not because I'm going to cause an argument, but it starts from the top. If you're not scoring the goals and finishing your chances and creating the chances, quality chances, I mean, because I also bang on every single week about us not creating enough chances. And I'm not talking about the Nottingham Forest game. I'm talking about overall how the season has gone on.
The tactics.
Yeah. If you're not creating enough chances, when you're playing such a front foot in football, you're going to be open. And Ange has actually already said this out loud. He said, "This is how we play. We are going to let goals in." Didn't he say that? Well, technically, the words I'm like quoting. Well, but he said this is how we play. I'm not going to change how I play. So when you play front foot football, the goals have to be there.
You need elite forwards, basically.
Exactly.
I think that's why I think we need a number 9, because I think we get in so many good positions. We just don't shoot enough. We don't cross enough. Because I think the team look up and go, "There's no physical presence there." So we go back and we try and get the perfect move. And what against Forest, I think. I'm not saying that players were necessarily afraid to shoot, but maybe they were trying to work the move, etc., trying to get someone in a shooting position. But Van der Ven and Porro's goals came from where I don't think we usually score in terms of, they had to go. I think the team done well to create chances, but that's what happens for me when you shoot more and you have a go. But for me, I've said this before, if Richarlison was fit, he'd be in my starting lineup every single week because we lack that physical presence in the box. And where I will agree with Haz about Son, and I do like Son, but not as a number 9. He doesn't really offer you that much.
I don't think
he's on the side, on the wing.
The problem with Son, it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it because where I say it comes out wrong. Okay, so his age is against him because he's like 31, 32, and he relies on his pace. Like I mentioned Bale as the example before. It's not me saying Son's a bad player, by the way. Okay, but for me, he was a better player.
Can I reiterate what you're saying in a better way?
Okay.
Cool. As an athlete, when you rely on certain skill sets,
attributes.
So attributes, or you call it skill sets. I'm going to call it, when you rely on a thing like pace to enhance your ability to play. So like, I'll give you another good example. Van der Ven. If Van der Ven didn't have pace, he would be a donkey as a centre back.
100%.
And that's not me disrespecting his level of his IQ level. And please don't think I'm against Van der Ven. Let me make that clear.
Before he clips
his pace is his ultimate. Yeah, his pace is his ultimate weapon that helps him perform at a high level, right? But his weakness, and let's be honest with you, I think all Spurs fans see this. His weakness is what? Headers.
Headers, yeah. Van der Ven,
jumping.
Headers, yeah.
His weakness is headers. So his strength is his pace. If Van der Ven was to lose his pace, let's not even talk about the system, but the system in that self, he'll be flawed, right? Cool. So what Haz is saying about Son? Son is a particular player that relies on his pace. His main attribute that makes Son is his pace. When he's in a decline, which means, I'm not saying he's bad now, he might pop up with a goal. He's good at shooting, yeah. That's another attribute that Son's good at. But if you take away his pace, you kind of have a dud. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because now you have to play a whole total different
this. I get your all-round explanation, but for me, Son's had a superb season and has really, for me.
Oh yeah. Oh no, this is not my opinion. This is Haz's opinion. I'm just trying to word it in a certain way.
No, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Let me wipe my hands off this, innit? Don't class me in a combo, innit?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying need to look at the quality of the goals we score, like, and the way we score them. All of Son's goals this season have been basically, I use this word loosely, tap-ins, right? He's not getting the ball, Harry, and doing what he does, for example.
But that's the way we play. We put the ball, we literally walk the ball in.
There's a reason why he was moved into the middle, Harry, because he doesn't have, like T just explained to you, he doesn't have the pace he had in the past.
He doesn't have the.
So he
doesn't have the creating spark
to the new way.
Whereas Werner, look. Yeah. So the reason why Ange is, let me just explain something.
I think in this system,
the reason why Ange is playing Werner in the left midfielder role, and I will give him props. Look, I'm here. Listen, and I've already said I don't want Werner. So I'm gonna lay out why he's good in the left wing. Look, so you can clip this if you want it, bro. I'll give you free range, but a lot of people are gonna agree on this. Werner, technically wise, in terms of shooting, is awful, yeah. But what he's good at is taking on his man and running against his opponents.
Very good, yeah.
Right? That's what his asset is. Right. So in Ange's system, he needs players to run at the defenders. Werner, for me, is better than Son in that role. In terms of one-on-one,
in the way we play, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. Now, see, look, I've just labeled that out. Now, what Haz is saying, when you lose that aspect, and he's not saying Son is bad. He didn't say that.
Yeah,
that didn't come out of his mouth.
Yeah, no.
He's not saying Son as a player is bad. He's saying Son, his main attribute that makes him what's another word? A great player.
Yeah.
A top player has been faulted.
Was his pace? Yeah.
Was his pace, and I can agree with that. But then what I can't agree on, which I haven't actually expressed, I can't agree where he says that the age is declining, because what I'm seeing on the pitch is he's scoring quite a lot of goals.
But what I'm saying is that his type of goals, right, is not the same as the past, right?
That's the system. That is the system.
But you can argue system-wide, and the reason I give this as an example is the other week when we lost to Fulham, he had that shot, just outside the box, and he went really wide. If you remember a few years ago, Son scored a similar goal to that when obviously it went in. And I'm saying there is, like, because of his age, I'm not saying
I get what you mean, but look at all the good goals Harry Kane has scored, but also look at, when he's had missed penalties like Southampton, where he stuffs up the spot or misses. Yeah, everyone misses chances though that they usually score. I know what you mean, but for me,
Kane never relied on his
I get it
pace,
if you're
though,
saying about Brennan Johnson in terms of he wouldn't be good without pace. I absolutely get that, and I would probably agree with that. But with Son, for me, I don't think pace is, even if he had zero pace, I don't think it'd be a problem. I think he has the skill. I think he has the hold up play. I think he'd be all right. So I don't think.
What you might notice
he
now,
relies
though,
on it.
as previous years, is now he's using like small bursts of it compared to before, where he would just get the ball and just
Yeah,
run
no,
off it.
I'm not saying he's as quick as he was 4 years ago. We know that, but I think at his age, what he's
What I'm
producing,
saying, I would keep
how
him.
important he
I'm
is to the
not saying to sell
system.
him. I'm not saying to sell him. I'd keep him. I'd buy someone like Isak. I'd keep using him like an impact player.
Let me be real in it,
absolutely. Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
I agree with what that says, but this comment that I've just looked at the comments in it from Alex Scott Experience in it. The forward line that Levy has put in place is his way of telling us that, and I generally believe that. You know why? Because look, there's certain players that he's brought in, that have been decent, but there's also certain players that he's brought in that have been questionable. I'm not going to lie to you. You already know my stance on Levy. I'm not going to go back over it. But this summer is where we will see what he really is smoking. Because as Anches said, he wants to go for a title. And if we see players that are not at that quality, look, you know what? Even you know what it is, isn't it? I want to see some serious players come to our squad, didn't it? Because we need serious players to win titles. That's what Ancha said. That's how I take it. Correct me if I'm wrong. You put yourself on the spotlight to say, "Yo, we're challenging next year," and if he doesn't challenge, I can either blame two people. I can blame the owner that hasn't backed him, or I can blame Ange for his deluded ways of playing football. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah. But I'm not saying in
my Son case, I'm not saying to sell Son, right? I'm saying we need to get Son in now, because in 2 years there might not be no.
We need a long-term replacement.
No, you're better off getting him now, so we're not in the same Harry Kane situation in 2 years like we were.
No, but let's, in all seriousness, if Saudi come in for an offer for Son, what price are we talking where you would listen?
He won't go to Saudi. It's Richarlison they want.
Yeah, I know, but let's just say hypothetically, because I think they come back in for an offer with Salah. If they can't get Salah, they'd look for someone like Son instead, as someone who could really represent the
hypothetically,
game
20 million. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It might sound low in it that I'm saying 20 million in it.
20,
but no. The reason being, you have to put into factor, and this is not. I don't have hate for Son in it, but I don't think you're gonna get any better offers than 20 million.
Really?
For his age, you think about.
I was thinking 120 million.
Look at his age.
I was thinking over 100. Impossible. To be honest with you.
Over 100.
Impossible.
Minimum.
Look at his age, though. No. Look at his age. It's impossible.
I don't look at
him in their right mind.
I don't look at any player's age. I just look at what they're producing on the pitch, and Son is producing.
But there
comes the high price tag.
You need to look at.
Harry, I think you're getting it wrong with Salah and Son, because Salah has a bigger reach in that area of the world. With Son,
I totally get that. But the Saudi Arabia, they want players that can represent their game well, and Son for me does that and brings a totally new audience to Saudi Arabia.
No, I see what you're saying.
I'm not going to
But for that area of the world, Harry, Son has less of a reach. I know I'm not saying they won't have any Korean fans at all.
Yeah, Salah will be their ideal. Absolutely.
That's why they want Salah, and that's why Salah is costing 100 million. Because despite his age against him, I mean, I think Salah's still better playing than Son, and it's been proven this year.
I don't agree.
And you got those few factors. That's what drives his price up. With Son, I think you might get like 40 million, maybe, or 50 million at the push. I think, if I'd argue, 40 million maybe. And this is coming from someone who says we need to build for the future without him. So, like, you won't get this crazy money, I think, for him if you sell him. That's why Richarlison will go for more, I think, actually, because that's what I've been hearing, like 40, 50 million for Richarlison, maybe, to Saudi. Which is why they want to sell him, because obviously, it's good money.
For me, I don't think Son. Look, Son's quality. He's got quality, right? But Son's age he's on a decline. You have to understand decline in age. This is why you see players like Ronaldo.
I don't think he's on a decline as a player, though. I think he's gone up, if anything.
No. Harry hasn't. Son peaked 2-3 years ago, I think, in my opinion.
Okay, wait, Harry, are you saying right now this is the best you've seen Son? Because then I will call you a liar.
No, but it's a lot better than last season that we've seen Son. And
why is your template? Why is your template? This is what I'm trying to say. Your template is Son's bad season because last season was his worst season, and you're saying the template of him being good is better than his last season. We are saying, me and Haz are saying,
if I'm being totally honest, I don't think either of you are respecting Son with your 20 million price tag. On decline. I think he's very valuable to Tottenham, and I think we'd find ourselves very far down the table without him.
Okay, let me make something clear in it. I'm not disrespecting his quality. I think Son's a world-class player. In fact, I think he's one of the best players. Yeah, right? I agree. I agree with you. I'm not disrespecting that. However, I'm judging it from a longevity, which means in the next 2 years, in the next year, his stocks are going to go lower. Hence why when Harry Kane was looking to go out and Arx has what I said, I was saying sell Harry Kane way before. Listen, before.
I've got receipts.
110%, man. Because when you hold on up to a player, their stocks decline. Now, for me, right now, he's performing to a certain standard. I would say, analyzing his whole career, he's still a bit. Look, his level is there, but we do look like we've lost a bit of Son. You know what I'm trying to say? That happy feet. I remember Son on the win, man. I was like, damn, what a player.
Yeah, back in the day, man. Drum on the pot. She was sick. Yeah.
Bro, listen, I was like, damn, what a player. Now we've kind of lost the
Son.
Son. And that's not me being harsh. I'm basing it off of what I'm seeing on a day-to-day, not even day-to-day, week-on-week basis. There's certain performances he don't turn up to. There's certain performances you're like, damn, if Son can only shoot, what other attributes can he do? Do you get where I'm coming from? Because there's been games where I've looked at Son and he struggled to run.
But then Harry, you made the point. You made the point that you'd rather play Richarlison up because of his physical presence, which I agree with completely.
Yes.
By the way, but then if you're doing that, you're putting Son on the left, and I don't like Son on the left in the system. But
I won't put it past Son to play on the right.
I think Werner is the best player we have on the left. I know I can't believe I'm saying this. Werner's probably the best player we have on the left, to be honest.
I think he's been superb, absolutely. Yeah.
So, but then it's like, well, so where do you put Son then? This is why I'm saying I would keep him. I'm not saying to sell him. I'm just saying we need to move on from him in the sense
we need to,
playing now that's going to come into
long term. I get that, but I think we mustn't, kind of forget.
I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this straight. I'm going to say this straight in it, and I will claim it now, so you can have another receipt of me when I said Kane should go. Next year, we need to start thinking of replacing Son.
100%,
because we can't rely on one individual to outperform. And, listen, you're talking about a guy that age does affect how people play. Happy Feet Harry, I'm going to use a good example in it. You're young. You're pretty young in it. Right now, you're doing your GCSEs, innit? But when I was doing my GCSEs, bro, look, I might be big in it, but I could do backflips. Now I'm at a certain age, bro. Let me try do a backflip, bro. My back will hurt. I don't know about you, Haz, bro. Age, you get like my back can crack. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
I know what you mean.
Harry, I'm 32. Maybe I'm a good example of this. I'm not pro, but I'll relate this to myself, right? I used to be that fast player right on the wing. I'm not joking, by the way. This is not me just making stuff up. I used to play on the left wing, actually. And now I play like more in the middle, because the thing is, I play, if it's 8-a-side, I play left back because I don't have the same pace I used to have before. So I'm having to adapt because I know I've lost like pace. If you speak to older people, they'll tell you I've lost. My biggest attribute was my pace.
You've lost the engine.
The engine.
You've lost the engine because the problem is your body. This is what I'm trying to say in football. This is why footballers last. They say 29 years. That's the average of football. A good footballer would last. Yeah, and you got the exceptional players that go on, but 29 from I think 17 to 29, they say you're at your peak form.
You're right, 100%.
Yeah, you're at your peak form. That's what they say. Listen, this is not me chatting bullshit. Go look it up. Go look it up. And if you know ball, you understand what I'm talking about. Even give example. Oxtel, he's a coach, innit? He has his coaching badges. He's gonna probably say the same thing. And probably I've got the ages wrong. Maybe it's 18 or something. But they say that section is when you're on your peak form. Now, in terms of your peak form, you can do the running, you can do the tracking back, you can do everything at a high level. Once you go through that threshold of 30, I'm 31, 32, 34.
I'm 32 now. Yeah.
You're literally look, my back is hurting and I'm only 24 in it. That shows I'm fat. But what I'm trying to say, you can't do what you were doing when you were 18.
I know
where I'm coming from.
Harry, what I'm trying to say to you is that if you speak to people play 5-a-side, but even just 5-a-side, we're talking 2019 when I was 27, right? Some guy I used to play with, there was one guy I played, I remember, and he goes to me, I don't know how you get back this fast. Like, I used to come back and just, get the ball back. And I was literally like running as like a box-to-box player almost, like everywhere. And if you look at me now compared to then, like, honestly, I have to time when I do my runs, I have to save energy throughout the game because I can't do the same amount of running as before, or just not in terms of just the up and down.
No, but is that a fitness decline or is it age?
I honestly, man, it's to do with age, man. I got an injury the other week, Harry. I was out for like a month because I got smacked in the back. It's a back injury.
It's age. You know why it's age?
Well, I will say players an experience though with age. I will say.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of players that I know that I think were a lot better as they got older.
I'm not saying that can't happen, Harry. But it's a very rare amount of people that get better when they're older. And
I'm saying age. Look, players can get better. What you're saying, they can adapt to different style. Like example, use Kane for example, because you've watched Kane on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah,
Kane is not blessed with pace.
No,
right?
Absolutely not. No.
What is his best attribute? Let me tell. Let's see if you know what Kane's best attribute is.
Finishing. Yeah, it could be anything.
You know what? Yeah.
Hold up play.
You're gonna be surprised what his best attribute is. Position. The way he positions himself in certain situations. Yes, his finishing is good, like amazing. His passing's amazing, but his best attribute is positioning. Why? Because Kane is not blessed with pace, so he can't do the running, and he can't do all of these type of things. Now you're coming to age now. Do you think an 18-year-old Kane would understand the positioning of?
No, absolutely not. No.
Right? That comes with experiencing. So now I'm going to link it back to Son. We're not saying Son's bad. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I didn't say that. Didn't have that conversation. You might think it's overboard what I say. This is where I agree with.
Well, what I will say, Spurs fans in general, I haven't seen many people say Son's had a good season. Yet last season when he was bad, it was all I heard was Son's bad, he's bad, get rid of him, non-stop. But this year, when he's producing the numbers,
but maybe people are saying what I'm seeing then, Harry, because I'm not.
I'll be very worried if they are.
No, Mark. His best is Kane. You're talking about Kane. His best attribute is positioning. The reason why I know this, isn't it?
Positioning and thinking ahead of the game.
That's what I think.
Yeah. But why I say positioning is his best attribute right now because I watched.
He knows where to be.
About a year ago or 2 years ago, they were analysing how Kane has adapted over the last 5 years, isn't it? And look, this is nothing I'm making up in it. I promise you, I'll get the video. In fact, you know what? I'll even post it in the comments so you guys, Mark, if you want to watch it, you can watch it. I'm not lying in it. I have actually receipts in it. I'll have to find it in it. They were analysing how Kane moves in certain positions to allow space to open up for other players. Hence why when he was at Tottenham, he used to come so close, come so far back to get the ball, because now he was changed from a all-out striker to become a creator, right? And the reason why he changed the role, he doesn't have the physical pace in today's game to do it. Hence why, look at how Bayern, a good example, is still playing the same way as he was playing at Tottenham. You are utilizing one of your best players in a certain way, and now maybe it takes him out of scoring opportunities, right? But you're bringing your best players in. I lost what I was saying. Sorry. You're bringing your best player on the ball and knowing that he has the ability to find a man. Kane's first word as a child to his parents was, yeah, obviously.
Also, I think Kane will probably adapt to players like deeper in midfield. I think that's what I think he'll do eventually. Yeah.
He's passing range, and he's
he can just be a playmaker.
Basically. Midfielders like they always like look over their shoulder. Kane has that naturally. So that as a number 8, he'd be absolutely perfect.
I think another thing, you're right with that. Yeah.
Even another thing why he is very smart, and I don't know if you guys realize this. Whenever he gets the ball overhead, what does he do? He bends his body and he like lies flat to claim a foul. Yeah. He started doing that about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Realizing this is all facts. But generally speaking, I'm not a coach. Right. I don't have coaching badge. But you know what? Go to the coaches. They'll probably say a more professional way of. But I'm saying it in my way, innit? You know, I'm trying to say it. This is my way. This is the best way I can explain it. But they saying the reason why he does it is not just to draw the foul. But generally speaking, when you are against the player, and let's just say you're challenging for a ball, the best way to keep the player off that space is to bend over. Because now your back is at the player, and what happens when you bend over?
You have to push it.
You create space. Yeah. You create space from the player and Kane. And then now football's gotten soft now. Let's be honest with you, innit? Yeah. Every little thing is a foul. Kane is utilizing every little thing as a foul.
That's why we get so many fouls, isn't it? Yeah.
So that's what you call a smart, intelligent player. Hence why I say, and I say this with my chest, Kane is one of the best strikers to walk this earth. I'm so gutted that he played in a Tottenham team that didn't win him no trophies, because I definitely guarantee you, if Kane was at West Ham, Kane was at Liverpool, Kane was at Man City, Kane was at any other team. Look, he's now gone to Bayern, and they're having a difficult season. But what I'm trying to say, to just make this point across. That's what you call one of the best strikers to walk this planet. I'm generally hot. Listen, bro, I've had conversations about this type of thing.
100%, man, 100%.
Because you have to be on different levels. Do you know the reason why they say Ronaldo's, the Messi's are on different levels? Because they find the reason why they say Ronaldo's on a different level. They find execution. They do these type of things to create space. Man, this different gravy, man. Different gravy of a player, man. I'm anybody that thinks different. But let's go on to the next game, because I kind of like rattled on.
Yeah, can we move on to Newcastle? I've got to jump in 9 minutes.
I read that actually. So Harry,
hello.
I did have a thing before that, but I might just couple it with this. We do play Newcastle early kickoff tomorrow. Do you think that's a factor? And I mean, I saw Newcastle the other week as well come back against West Ham. They were 3-1 down. They won 4-3. Are you afraid of tomorrow's game? How are you feeling towards it? I'm going to say my hands up from now. I don't like this match at all. I hate playing Newcastle away. I think it's awful. But your thoughts on it, Harry?
Yeah, I love that comment, by the way. I think that obviously going to James's Park, Newcastle is tough. We all know what happened last season. It hurt the fans, it hurt the players, it hurt everyone associated. with Tottenham. So obviously it will hurt. The early kickoff thing, the early kickoff thing is not a factor at all. If anything, it maybe affects Newcastle even more in terms of they have an awful record, bar West Ham, to the early kickoffs. The only people who does affect is the away fans. Obviously, a lot of them are going today because it was a huge journey up to Newcastle. But no, I'm worried about the game, of course. But we're talking about a depleted Newcastle team. So I don't really want to be hearing too many excuses. We're talking back five, including the goalkeeper. We're talking Livramento out, Trippier, Botman, Lascelles, Pope, Joelinton in that midfield, Callum Wilson. Got several first-team players out. So in terms of going there and winning, for me, we're going to have no better opportunity. So he's well within our rights to be able to do so. But having said that, I don't think a point will be the end of the world for either side. So we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I'm worried. I think there's goals in it either way.
But don't you think, though, that, I don't know, have you been to St. James's Park, sorry, or not? I can't remember. Did you go on?
Sorry?
Have you been to St. James's Park before?
No, not for a game, no.
I know my brother went a few years ago. And he told me, I mean, bear in mind, we all had different experiences, different stadiums. But he said it was the most hostile. He was saying the Newcastle.
Oh, they're fantastic, the fans. Absolutely.
No, absolutely. Like, honestly, I'm gonna say, if Newcastle fans are watching this, you guys are like the loudest fans I've ever seen. As I'm gonna say this, you're the best fans.
Win, lose, or draw as well.
Best fans in the country. Honestly, they don't stop singing. So for me, always this game scares me because you might think on paper, well, they've got all these players out. They've got Eddie Howe's basically fighting for his job as well. I'd argue. You'd be surprised because football's a really brutal game.
Yeah, I get that. I don't think you'd be sad.
So there's a lot of factors. I know they're not player factors, but there's a lot of factors going towards Newcastle in the sense of like they just never give up. It's gonna be a tough game.
Yeah,
I think it's a really tough game.
Every game's tough.
Yeah, TJ.
Look, let's be honest here, innit? Yeah, and I'm coming from not a point of view that I'm gonna think. If our goal is to be top 4, we have to win this, innit? It's definitely gonna be a tough game, and I believe we're gonna lose. Let me be honest with you, innit? I just feel like we're gonna crumble when it most matters. But in terms of like playing against Newcastle, we have to be very careful of how we push up because they're a really good counter-attacking team. I know
they got Anthony Gordon who's on form.
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes will come off the bench. Isaac.
I know.
Harvey Barnes I like Harvey Barnes.
I know they're like depleted, and that's not me. That's not me kind of like sugarcoating how Tottenham has to play. But we definitely need a result, and we need a result badly because for me, our next games after that game, that's going to be difficult games because they're all going for the title. Do you get where I'm coming from? So we need at least to win. We need ideally a point or anything but a loss. But for me, it's a case of the players have to perform, and Ange has to get onto certain players that have had like up and down performances. Our midfield is going to be questionable. I'm going to say something in it when it comes down to the lineup, but I just want to ask you guys a question in it, and please don't think I'm jumping the gun here. Do you think we should kind of like start with Maddison? Because Maddison has been a bit off as well. Don't get me wrong, he's performed well, but he's been nullified.
Is it a case for myself, though?
Yeah, he's been very nullified, and that's not me punishing him for no reason, but he's been very poor since his injury. I feel like this is the game for Højbjerg to play. Like, he has to start Højbjerg. Yeah, he has to start. I think Højbjerg has to start because we need someone defensive that can actually.
I'd even be tempted to play. Are you going to think it's mad? I'd be tempted to play Højbjerg, Bentancur, and Sarr.
That's too defensive, though.
No, I know you say that, but they're going to come at us, man. Like, it's going to be a real. Honestly,
I'd agree with you. Joelinton in the midfield. Because I'd be a bit worried about them winning the midfield battle.
My only worry with Maddison off form is that they're gonna clatter into him in like the first 10 minutes.
Maddison for me, I think he needs time off the pitch, not because I'm punishing him, but for me, sometimes you need, when nothing's going for you in it. Sometimes you just need to relax and watch and understand why, like what's going on in it. And Madison hasn't really. Look again. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Let me know. Maybe the comments think I'm overreacting, but
No.
I definitely want to see a change of midfield. I want to see like some sort of defensive structure in
That's
this
I think
game.
Hoiberg, Benzema, and maybe Sarr. That's what I would do. But I know you guys think that's too defensive. Or
Well,
maybe Hoiberg, Benzema, Lo Celso. But then you
for
lose,
me,
you lose Sarr's running. You lose Sarr's running. So.
Yeah, you know what the back five looks like, including Vicario. For me, midfield, I completely agree with both of you, but in particular, TJ, what he says around James Maddison. He's not performing. We know that. But if I'm basing it on in terms of quality and at their best who can produce, I would have James Maddison on the pitch for that reason. So for me, it'd be Maddison, it'd be Bentancur for that bit of stability, a bit of control, a bit of experience, if you like, almost. And Højbjerg for me would be the six. We can't have Basuma losing the ball to James's Park in the positions he loses the ball, because that will rally the St James's Park crowd and will really work against us. Højbjerg for me is, whether people like it or not, I think he's one step ahead. Of course, he makes mistakes and he has what I call the brain farts every now and then. We know that with Højbjerg, but generally he plays very neat, protects the defence, which we'll need. So he comes in for me, and you keep the front three the same. I think we can. Johnson and Werner, whether people think of them, I think they can cause Newcastle problems in terms of if Dan Burn plays left back.
But I'd be tempted to play Kulusevski tomorrow because of his hold-up play.
No, nah.
We need pace.
Listen, bro. I agree totally with what Harry says, and I don't really agree with him that often. And he's spot on. Listen, we definitely need Johnson, and we definitely need Werner. And in fact, you know what? It's sad that I'm saying this, innit? But we definitely need Son in the middle, because we need them to cut open. That's like a FIFA lineup.
I like this.
Yeah,
TJ.
that's like a FIFA lineup. For me, this game is gonna come. Listen,
just so you guys know, Richardson's injured anyway, so it's not like
is he? Okay, cool. Yeah. Fair enough. But for me, we definitely need to play Johnson and Werner. If they don't perform, then you have obviously options on the bench, in it, right? But from the get-go, we need the pace. I believe pace is what is going to matter in this game. Yeah. You know, it's not going to be no easy. We're going to have all that possession. I think in
this game you need more like battling players. I've always, when I'm playing Newcastle, as in like, this is what I'm saying to places like Højbjerg.
You're just going to get eaten alive. You get pushed to the ball. It'd be in the stands. Not a chance to even think.
Like I said, normally I'd say forget Kulusevski on the right wing, but in this game we might need someone to hold it up for a bit, because they're going to come at us like constantly. You know that. I don't know if you've ever watched us.
Do you know what? I get where you're coming from. Kulusevski, if anyone does hold the ball up, I think Dan Burn will come in and go, take that. It literally.
He might be able to hold it, and then they can bring the.
Kulusevski wants 75 years to look up and pick a pass, and it's a James's Park. You don't get that time. But I've got to jump. So do you want me to give my score prediction?
Yeah. Look, what we do, we'll end the show after this anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
5 minutes, just 5 minutes. We'll end it anyway.
5 minutes.
So I'll put my lineup quickly and my score, and then TJ can do his. So I'm going, obviously, there's a normal back five because there's no one else. And then, I'm going to stick with my midfield. I'm going Bentancur, Sarr, and Højbjerg, because I think we need Sarr's legs, and I would play Bentancur further forward, and it gives us. And I would be, I think, playing Lo Celso a bit of a risk. I think Maddison, like you said, needs to find out. But my front three, I'm still sticking with what I said. I'm going Kulusevski on the right, Werner on the left, and Son up front, because I just think we might need that extra hold up. And unfortunately, I don't think he's going to play this team, so I think we're going to lose 3-1.
Cool. My lineup is basically same back line, same goalkeeper, obviously. Yeah. Midfield, look, whoever we play, Højbjerg. I speak about Maddison going on the bench. I think I'm going to play Bentancur and Sarr. You know, I think right now
my three as well.
Yeah. Basically, I feel like Maddison is done well. Listen, it's not a hate crime against Maddison. Please don't think it. I just feel like he just needs to relax and just get back to his form. Front three is how I said before in it.
Same as same as Harry's, isn't it? Yeah.
Same as Harry's, Werner, Son, and Johnson, right? Cool. I'm hoping we get a 1-0, 2-0 win, but my predictions right now is going to be a 1-0 loss.
Oof.
I'm not confident.
Wow.
To be fair, TJ's normally right.
I'm going to go with 3-2 Newcastle. I think there's a lot of goals in there. I think that we go 2-0 up and Newcastle will claw back. They bring on Harvey Barnes. I think that we get to half-time. Andrew won't need to give his inspiring kind of team talk, if you like, to what I call give the players a kick up the backside. And we'll just deplete in that second half and fall apart and be like West Ham and completely throw away 2-0 or leading by 2 if you like advantage.
Okay, so before we finish up, TJ, where can we find you?
You can find me on Fridays at Spurskins TV and Spursy Talks. Again, you will see my channel soon.
Okay, you can find me at Hasper TV. Please like and subscribe. I do match reaction videos. And I keep saying I'm going to start streaming again, but I haven't done that for like 3 weeks. So hopefully when the Arsenal game comes back around, because I've got like 2 weeks to repair, I'll start streaming again. And Harry Scarf, where can we find you? Going to another show. Yeah. What show is it, by the way?
Yeah, it's a Newcastle fan show. Baz's, I can't remember the name of it, so I do apologise for that.
I've directed them to there, but I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, it's just started. But you can go check out my profile. I'll share the tweet when the show goes live, etc. But you can find me here every Friday, 7 p.m. every Sunday, 7 p.m. on Partlane Podcast. Got my own channel, Scarfy Spurs, the weekly podcast every Monday, 7:45 p.m. Premier League show every Wednesday night. You've got England content, daily Spurs content. You've got my Twitter handle there, Harry Scarf 22. That's quite a bit.
He's like, I'm at work. He's like,
listen, this guy, he juggles school work with work life. This is his work.
Double life.
Double life, man.
Good job, I love what I do.
Just before we finish here, I just want to say something. It's an achievement. We finished the stream in 1 hour and 10 minutes. So anyone watching this is the first stream that's just over an hour. So Marlon should be happy.
Yeah, 100%, man.
100%.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for all joining in. Yeah, big up all the comments in it. Yeah. And we'll see you
in a few weeks.
Soon.
Yeah, because
we'll see you soon. I think it's not. Yeah, in a few weeks, in fact.
Yeah, we don't play next weekend.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 weeks, right? We got off.
Yeah. Nice one.
So the Arsenal game, it depends on their buy-in. It might fall on a Saturday or on a Sunday. It depends on the buy-in result now. So
should be Sunday.
With buy not come out, then it's Sunday. But if they win, it will get moved because they go through.
I hope it's not a Saturday. I can't do the Saturday. I really want to go to it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're
I'm
both
working on Saturday.
Anyway. They're both early.
All right, cool. Yo, let Harry go in it because
I'm gonna cheers, guys.
I'm gonna end the stream now.
You Spurs.
Yeah, man. Come on, you Spurs. Damn, that was quick.